Greetings everyone, here's Lodrick, and this is the game War in the Pacific Advanced Edition. This is my play by email match against KilRoy, the rematch. This is still scenario 1, but on the new map 27. And KilRoy gets the walking American torpedoes at the beginning of the war already. The rest is all standard. This is now the day after the sinking of the third British battleship. I think the Royal Sovereign sunk near to Rangoon. I mean, technically the ship was not to be sunk, but it was heavily damaged. This was now I-160, get a torpedo hit on Trump. Trump is a Dutch light cruiser, similar to Japanese light cruisers. They don't have really much more firepower than a destroyer. And it is sinking very likely. After I was also able to take Bataan, I can clean the mines now. And this is now, I think, Mutsu and Nagato, the two battleships that the fight with Royal Sovereign last turn. Oh no, these are Congo. These are my two Congo class battle cruisers. They're hunting some tanker here at I think Port Blair. So this is the easy kill. Yeah, this was Port Blair. This is now my heavy cruiser formation, clashing with this retreating allied formation. Had the attempt to bombard and shell Port Moresby. The big British battleship sunk all, and this is more or less, I think, the cover force for the battleships. I'm not so sure, but this is a light cruiser formation with a bunch of American destroyers, I think, here. The ships are smoking, so I think they are out of fuel and have system damage. And let's see if my heavy cruisers can finish this light cruiser destroyer formation. Again, but no explosion. So in this game I have, I think 3, 4, 5 torpedoes already with no explosion for my Japanese side. So with a 10% double chance. But now I have a torpedo hit with explosion. So Dragon get now finally a kill blow. So Dragon is going down. Dragon just took this torpedo from the submarine, and now the surface torpedo is simply too much for a 4,000 ton light cruiser. And the second Dutch, no, Durban, I think, is a British, maybe South African, but I think there is no South African nation now, so it belongs to Commonwealth or Britain. Question is if the American destroyers can normally create some torpedo hit on my side. This is the only threat for me. But this whole operation is for KilRoy maybe a small fiasco. I mean, the Royal Sovereign sunk in the Indian Ocean. This has nothing to do with this. But in the last 2-3 days, the amount of ships getting destroyed for the Allies in this Port Moresby area is very high compared to my small losses. I have many damaged ships, but not many really lost ships. The cruiser mine layer was maybe the biggest ship I lost here directly. Of course, you can also say that all of these ships KilRoy have here are outdated, second class, not so important ships for the Allies. It is equipment you can spare. With a little luck, you can maybe intercept a cargo or a troop convoy ship and create a lot of damage for the Japanese. In this case, my air force crippled the heavy units And my surface engagement troops, or my surface ships finish them off together with some submarines. So the Durban is now also very battled already, slowed down, and easy picking. This is still a night engagement with nearly no moonlight. And still out of the distance of 6,000 yards is, I think, close range still. But for night engagement, maybe normal. And the second torpedo hit at night. I mean, the third normally, but only the second was exploded. The Bulma is also dead, so one destroyer at least sunk. One hit after the next on the Durban. And yeah, the Durban is so slow that you can finish off the ship with the torpedo head now. This will save a lot of shells and let my cruisers maybe focus on the destroyers. So Durban is also dead. And this is the end. I have here one destroyer heavily damaged on my side. I'm not so sure why. Maybe it was a collision and I don't realize it, or it was damage from before. But both light cruisers and one destroyer sunk. The rest can escape, maybe at least now, the first battle at night. So this was India Ocean. Also cleaning the mines of Balikpapan, so to get this base ready for my own operations. So this is I think the destroyers. So they got away. No daytime Navy engagement more. So let's see if there's any airstrike against these allied ships, but weather and cannot find location. So first my zeros out of Palm Bank sweeping Batavia. Some successes, but I will have to run this many days. out of Raboul, this is maybe near the maximum range of this torpedo bombers, and I still can create a torpedo hit. Even if these pilots are not really trained for this, I'm just in the state of training. I try to let them run search missions, at the same time train pilots for torpedo attack. And I pick here one destroyer out and think, good, one less for KilRoy. Now the bombardment of China. Still some units left, but every day some more squads are dying, so hopefully they simply just disappear from the map soon. KilRoy try his best with his small air force he have, but today he won in one of my Oscars. So I say running, or he is flying very high at 20,000. So I'm not sure if I can really catch them. Oh yeah, at least some. And on the way out, maybe more. So maybe 3, 4, 5 SB3s are killed here. Some daylight bombardment from B-17s, but this is long range, so bomb load is reduced, halved. This is my second carrier fleet division here in Indian Ocean. I sent them out some days before, and hopefully they can finish Exeter here. And yeah, one more torpedo hit with engine damage. So KilRoy tried to escape to Calcutta. He was out of range for my torpedo bombers out of Bangkok already, but my long range, he had only two choices: run away to Ceylon or run away to Calcutta. He chose the northern part. And now Dauntless and Exeter both sunk. So less firepower here in the west for KilRoy. And Ceres is also still here, but maybe low on fuel and damage. And this is maybe also now the end. Yeah, 2 torpedo hits for a light cruiser with already system damage. Okay, sinking. And my carriers are also catching up with these running away destroyers. And I don't need here normally torpedoes. Hopefully my dive bombers can finish the job. Ah yeah, Stronghold get a hit. Fine, this is a smaller destroyer. I think with only 4-inch main battery. And even torpedo bombers, if they have some skills, and these are all, I think, the elite pilots from Kidubutai, Shukaku, Zuikaku, they have both skills. Training for bomb attack out of horizontal and torpedo attack. A dive bomber need only normally search and navy attack bomber. You can also train them for sub hunting, but if you have the time to spare. Whipple is also a dead one. And Stewart. So maybe the whole task force, everything what KilRoy throw on Port Moresby is more or less lost. Or crippled. Again a torpedo hit with no explosion. But the second hit with explosion is normally really enough. And Parrot is dead. Naja, maybe not dead, but 2 hits is already a lot of damage for a destroyer. So, not super, I mean, of course I would still say it's okay. I have here 1 destroyer sunk and 3 more are dead because of heavy fire and heavy damage is normally 99% I think for sunk ships like this dead sentence. So 2 destroyers, maybe 3 destroyers can escape here. So it's not a total disaster, but it's a crippling blow for KilRoy's navy here in East Australia waters. Question is how, I mean, KilRoy have all of these standard American battleships, all of the cruisers, all of these destroyers here, so the amount of ships the Allies have without a Pearl Harbor strike is still very high. So I sunk not one of the British, I mean the British have 2 carriers, okay, at this time. But also the Americans have now 3, maybe coming close to 4, I don't know. Warps, I think March, maybe March, I don't know, February or March, I think the Americans get the 4th carrier. Yeah. So there's still more to see. So this is now the second battle of Singapore. The first was a shock attack river crossing. This is now the first prepared standard attack on Singapore. And kill ratio is 1-to-1. So high losses, destroyed losses for the British. I can destroy the next fort. High numbers of disabled, but still okay. I mean, this is in favor for me. One more push and then maybe Singapore will fall. And again, I have here really only one army working, because one army is in Singapore, Malaya campaign, and the other army is for Burma. So the amount of firepower I can bring on Singapore is limited. Good, now the battle on Nanyang. Here, similar situation. Higher losses for the Chinese. They lost their fort. For me, it's only disabled. Very likely next turn I can take the city. It is only a dot base. And my armored car trying to kick this Chinese corps. Casualties for the Chinese, but still too many left to kill. The Dutch Space Force here cannot hold. They must fall back. Jumping back to the other Dutch base. There's some scout airplanes destroyed now at the ground. Maybe disabled. Whatever. And the Allies are attacking here with a lot of units. Nanchang here. So this is a KilRoy's Central Chinese counter strike or offensive. Most of these Chinese units are a little broken, but there's at least one Chinese corps is in good shape. And you can see that his attack value is more than halved. I keep more or less. I have a level 3 fort, but the Chinese can destroy one fort level. Casualties are for me higher, but I have here only a Navy Guard unit, so they are softer and die more easily. And for KilRoy again, what is disabled cannot attack more, so I must only disable the enemy to hold the city, or this hex. KilRoy must destroy my units. Good. So the turn was okay. Air losses for Allies higher, but it's related to maybe losing here the SB3 gets intercepted, so KilRoy lost 7 already. 6 near scouting boats getting destroyed on in the base, so this is more or less what most casualties come from. I had here 5 lost airframes with 2 killed pilots. Okay. Ship sunk. I'm not sure if them all. I mean, Dauntless, Durban sunk, Dragon sunk, Trump sunk. Dauntless, maybe. I'm not so sure. But a lot of light cruisers sunk this turn, or this. Plus Exeter. I don't know why Exeter is not here, but additional some destroyers, but these are all Clemson class destroyers, so very light second class destroyers, not frontline. And the British tanker. This was in Porta Princesa. No, Port Blair. Yeah. Good. So in China, no real big change. Takes the dot base, the last base before Xi'an. But now it's all clear terrain, so nothing more to stop me. KilRoy can hold Nanyang for one more turn, but maybe really only one more turn. He's also coming with a lot of units here, nearly 100,000 Chinese trying to attack here, and I have here only some block forces. This mixed brigade is a little more tough, a good commander, good morale, and some okay experience, and some elite Navy Guard units, but this Navy Guard unit was more or less the frontline unit. This unit is now out of action. All is more or less everything is destroyed, not even disabled, but my mixed brigade is more or less fully intact so far. How long I can hold this is the other question, but if I can win here sometime, my 13th army can maybe clean up this Chinese units, open the supply lines to Shanghai, and then I can maybe take on this Chinese attacker. At the same time, my Canton army, or you can see also the 23rd army, is trying to clean up here the western part and then maybe pushing also this direction. So then I have two Japanese army taking on this Chinese big threat. And in Burma, I cross the river, but the British escaped to Pegu. Now I must take this base, so I can only really walk from hex to hex, because there's always now a dot base. So this forces you to take hex by hex. Walk in, take the base, and then walk again, take the base. You cannot rush more so far. Much. My carriers are... I was normally hoping to catch Hermes, but Hermes is escaping. But I finish off this other British ships. And no other sighting of any unit more. And I more or less catch with my battleships my damaged cruiser plus my heavily damaged destroyer, and bring them back and wait in Georgetown. I was hoping that I maybe take Singapore, but I think it's really, maybe I must wait one or two more turns, rest a little, and then attack again, and then it's over. So maybe if these ships are in Georgetown, I maybe attack Singapore again. Then it's done. All other operations are successful. Taking here this Navy base. Normally there's one more base in Tarakan, and then Kuching is maybe an air base, and this is maybe everything with base force left. Maybe here's also a base force, I'm not more sure. But these are normally the locations the Allies can have at the start of the war. Search aircraft for searching, not really for striking, but look around. Cleaning the mines in Bataan, then cleaning the mines in Manila, nothing really special here. My block force is in position, and the Allies, they don't come out. KilRoy, no, he cannot attack me, he can only hold and try. So I don't want to waste here too much time. I take all my forces back to Manila. The best units, I then arrive in Manila, 2 or 3 divisions or whatever I use, I will send to finish this, and then the rest will normally go immediately for Tarakan, and then already Surabaya. And roughly after I take Singapore, but this needs some more time, I have maybe spare units to go for West Java. So this army goes for West Java, and my Filipino armies, I will split in 2 groups, because I have 2 armies. One army will go for East Java, and the other army will go and help in the Pacific to conquer Bougainville and New Caledonia in the future. So the Battle of Port Moresby is, I think, now finally over. There's nothing left. KilRoy don't attack more with his carriers. You know it's over. And he's running away. Don't ask me why the task force say moving east. They're normally moving west. Not sure. And these are 2 damaged destroyers. I think they had the collision, or? Yeah, so this is a unit that was heavily damaged in this night engagement, and had a collision with my own ships. So I try to bring them back to Port Moresby to make some emergency repair maybe, and then go back to Rampur. Nothing else here to see? Nothing important. Marshall Islands, quite nothing here. Good. That was all. Then see you next time. Take care. Bye bye.